You know, not long ago, I took a trip to the Gulf of Mexico. Then about 3 weeks ago, I took a trip to the Gulf of America. And the interesting thing is, I was in exactly the same place. And today I'm going to talk about the Gulf of America, not a geography lesson. The real story about an absurd double standard about those on the extremes. Let's take a look at some of the latest headlines that really pop this out. U.S. House approves dumb legislation renaming Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. Mexico sues Google over Gulf of America name change. Trump is reportedly considering renaming the Persian Gulf after Gulf of America scuffle. Now, to refresh, Trump signed an executive order renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. He did it aboard Air Force One on the way to the Super Bowl. Listen to the captain's announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please direct your attention out the right side of the aircraft. Air Force One is currently in international waters for the first time in history, flying over the recently renamed Gulf of America.
Earlier this month, the House passed a bill that backs President Trump's executive order. The Senate has yet to vote. Delaware Democratic Congresswoman Sarah McBride called this the dumbest bill.
We are on our way to the House floor to vote on what is possibly the dumbest bill we could be spending our time on, legislation to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Now, no idea why the Congresswoman shot that video on a moving congressional train. No idea why the first openly transgender member of Congress is suddenly against changing names. Her progressive peers have been successful in changing manpower to workforce, craftsman to artisan, man up to be brave, ladies and gentlemen to guest, pregnant women to birthing people, even changed you guys. It's been flagged for gender bias. Can't say you guys anymore. I'm not sure what they're going to come up with. I'm from Texas. How about just y'all?
It ain't you all, it's y'all. 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 Man, you sound like a karate movie. Y'all.
That covers everybody, right? Even Jeff Probst on Survivor got suckered in.
Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. In the context of Survivor, is a word like guys okay, or is it time to retire that word?
The far left wrote the book on changing names. It's okay when they do it because it's for diversity and equality. It is not okay when conservatives do it. Now, look, I don't care about the Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico or whether that's right or wrong. But does it compare to gung-ho liberals renaming military bases?
And before I go, let's not forget that Biden's decrepit antics yesterday were at Fort Liberty, North Carolina, which we used to call Fort Bragg.
Bragg is back. We've been talking about this pretty much all day. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth renamed North Carolina's Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg.
So there have been 9 bases that have been renamed. And by the way, that's not cheap. When you rename bases, they got all this stuff printed out. They got these big signs out front, usually in stone and steel and all that. So what did it cost to rename those 9 bases? $1 million a piece. How about total cost? $62 million. The woke left also pressured iconic American brands to change their names. Washington Redskins. They became the Commanders. The Cleveland Indians became the Guardians. Aunt Jemima became Pearl Milling Company. Uncle Ben's became Ben's Original. And Eskimo pie, Edie's Pie.
Oh, same delicious taste as regular Eskimo pie.
Would you eat Edie's pie? I'd have to get a look at Edie. Okay.
The Dixie Chicks even changed their name to the Chicks. Apparently calling a woman a chick is less offensive than referencing the Mason-Dixon line. I'm not sure why. Some of those brands wanted to change its name. That's a sound business decision. Others gave in to woke politics. Aunt Jemima's family were proud of her legacy. They wanted respect, not erasure.
Aunt Jemima, what took you so long? At last, the First Lady of Pancakes makes a syrup of her own.
Another example of this double standard, Trump also passed an executive order to change the name of Mount Denali in Alaska back to its former official name of Mount McKinley.
And we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
It was Mount McKinley until 2015 when President Barack Obama formally renamed it Mount Denali to, quote, recognize the sacred status of Denali to Alaska natives going back generations. Obama changed the name first, so why was that okay? So, look, there are two sides to every name change, of course. If there's something that's really offensive to people's sensibilities, and those people organically say, every time I drive by that or walk by that or see that, it hurts me to my core, it bothers me, and they want to change it. And like I say, that's an organic thing that comes from the populace from the inside out. I can understand it. But is that where it's coming from, or is it coming from the tyranny of the fringe? Is it coming from activists on the outside who take this and drive it? Is it really of the people, or is it really from just a few that want to make a point? Is it just from the shrill voices that are screaming from the rooftops and don't really speak for the people? There comes a point when you have to decide your way is not the only way. Don't assume you know how others feel. 49% of Native Americans found Redskins offensive. 49%. 56% of Americans opposed renaming bases. Those in the military, they could take it or leave it, 50-50. Look, we don't agree on everything. We shouldn't agree on everything. How boring would that be? And I'll tell you what else would happen if we agreed on everything. We would challenge nothing. We would learn nothing. The fastest way to grow is to prove yourself wrong. Yourself, not somebody else, yourself wrong. That's how you learn. So what does that tell you? Two things. You gotta really ask yourself, are you guilty of confirmation bias? Now, what is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias is when you only see, you only process, you only ingest information, data, or experiences that confirm what you already believe. Man, that's scary. Think about that. The only thing you see, the only thing you hear, the only thing you process is what confirms what you already believe. And here's what's scarier. People that suffer from confirmation bias, when you bring them empirical evidence to the contrary, you think, well, okay, they'll change their mind. No. They deepen their resolve. They dig their heels in because they are threatened that somebody is showing them that they're wrong. And they cannot admit they're wrong because they're right fighters. They got to be right. They're right fighters. So they dig in and resist. That's troublesome. The second thing we should resolve to do is work hard to understand how others perceive things. And the real test, if you're doing that for real, is can you make their argument? Not sarcastically, not set up a paper tiger that's easy to tear down, but really sincerely make their argument. Put it on like a jacket and make their argument the way they would make it. Doesn't mean you believe it, but do you understand it enough to truly make their argument? If you can do that, then you've listened, you've heard, and you are open to their point of view. Afterwards, you can take that coat off again and say, okay, I made their argument, I listened, I learned, I argued it, still don't believe it. But at least you gave it a fair airing. And when you've done that, you've gotten outside your bubble and opened up your mind. And that's the real story. If you want a real story every day, click subscribe and follow below, because I'll be coming back again and again and again. See you next time. Wherever you're getting The Real Story, make sure you subscribe and follow. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Dr. Phil here. My network, Merit TV, has it all.
Now, let me blow your mind.
Merit TV's got the news that matters.
The selection of a new pope.
Entertainment you crave.
Busted. Everybody in a good mood today?
And live events.
Surprise.
What am I, chopped liver?
With serious punch.
Big shot!
Go to merittv.com and download the Merit TV app today.
You've heard me talk about Jace Medical. If not, listen up, because they're doing incredible work in medical preparedness. And today, I've got two major updates to share. First up, the ivermectin use case. You've probably seen the headlines calling it a wonder drug. The scientist who discovered it even won a Nobel Prize, and now Jace is offering a 30-day supply at the best price you'll find anywhere. Next, the upgraded Jace case, an emergency supply of antibiotics delivered to your door. They've doubled the number of medications to 10 at just $20 more. And now, the most comprehensive and affordable kit available. Get it before you need it. Don't wait, order today. Visit jace.com and use code PHIL at checkout for a special discount. That's JASE.com, code PHIL.